Namaste, Mere Dosto. Mero Nam Carrie Hay, and welcome back to my channel, Carrie Lee C. Today we're going to be starting a series on cocktails. My fiance Debjoti is a professional mixologist, and you may or may not know that I've been in the restaurant industry for 16 years now, and most recently as a general manager of a cocktail lounge. So, before we dive in, DJ, what are we making today?
So we'll make a classic cocktail called the Negroni.
Sounds good to me. Let's get going.
So I'm a big fan of three-part cocktail making, and the basic tenets of cocktail consist of 1 part sugar, 1 part citrus or sour in general, and 1 part liquor or liqueur. Now, in the classic Negroni cocktail, it's a 3-part drink. Again, the classic recipe calls for equal parts of gin, vermouth, and Campari. Campari being the most important ingredient in making Negroni. The history of Negroni dates back to the 18th century when Count Negroni or Count Camillo Negroni went into a bar and asked the bartender to step up the game of Americano. Americano was his favorite drink, of soda water, the vermouth and Campari, and it made it an Americano. But then Count Negroni said, I want it to be stronger. And the bartender said, okay, let me give you something stronger. Soda water, the bartender substituted it with gin. So the bartender substituted the soda water for gin, and thus amplified the magnitude of booze in the cocktail. And thus was the birth of the classic cocktail Negroni, which is prized by many people in the restaurant and cocktail industry. Many people just want to have a sip of Negroni and never look back again. So stay tuned to see how we learn making a classic Negroni by a brown mixologist. So for any cocktail, we definitely need fresh ice. Okay, so we have our ice ready over here. Next, we need a mixing glass. It doesn't have to be this fancy, but this is a fancy mixing glass that I'm fortunate to have because Carrie gifted me on my birthday, knowing my love for mixology. So the first ingredient you want to put in is the classic Campari. Campari is an Italian liqueur. It's a very old liqueur which is very bitter. It has notes of some sweetness, some citrus, but mostly it's bitter. I'm gonna go ahead and put 1 ounce or 30 mils of Campari.
Are you thirsty, Dexter? Ready for a drink?
Take 1 ounce of it, or 30 mils like I said. The next ingredient is a sweet vermouth. Now, what is a vermouth? People may know vermouth as fortified aromatized wines, and the wines are typically blended or infused rather with herbal roots, barks, and different kinds of floral ingredients as well to give it the notes that the actual distillery wants it to give. Now, my favorite go-to vermouth is the Cocchi di Torino. It has been manufactured since the 1891, if I'm not wrong. And the reason I like it is because it has not only notes of the wine, but also it has notes of cocoa, rhubarb, and obviously the bitterness. The bitterness comes towards the end of the sip that you take, but mostly I like it for its cocoa notes, and rhubarb just accentuates the flavor of the cocktail. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dump 1 ounce, 30 mils of the Cocchi di Torino.
And where'd you get that nice little jigger?
Well, as again, I'm lucky to have a wonderful fiance. So this one was actually gifted by the mom of my fiance, my soon-to-be mother-in-law. Now the term vermouth actually originates from the German word Vermouth, which is a German term for the bark or the root called wormwood, which is definitely used in blending or making a fortified aromatized vermouth, hence the name. Now the final ingredient that makes a Negroni is a gin. You can pick up any dry gin, London dry gin or a Plymouth gin, but my favorite go-to gin is the Roku gin by Suntory. The reason I like it is because of its herbal notes that further accentuates any bitterness that you may have in your drink. So in our drink, for example, we have the Campari. If you don't like too much bitterness in your drink, I would recommend using just a London dry gin. Now, as promised, we'll dump equal parts, like we did for the Campari and the sweet vermouth, 1 ounce or 30 milliliters of the gin. Now the final step is to give it a nice stir with a lot of love and patience for at least 15 seconds. I am not a big fan of shaken drinks, but I do love some of the shaken drinks. My favorite being the Clover Club because Carrie likes it the most. I'll make some series on shaken drinks as well, but for now let's start the journey of cocktail making, and anyone can make this cocktail at home with the Negroni. So I think I've stirred for almost 15 seconds, Carrie, isn't it?
I think longer.
Okay, let me see how it tastes like. Just the right fit. Now we'll go ahead and pour it in a nice chilled rocks glass. Now the final step is to actually use an orange peel and give it a nice roll over the rim for a perfect flavor and the beautiful, perfect Negroni. Cheers. Okay, let me know how you think.
I'm not even really a fan of Negroni, but that's great.
I know, Carrie always keeps telling me she does not like Negroni, but anytime I make Negroni at home, again, obviously not to be narcissistic, I think I make better Negroni than most people out there. So that's why you need to trust a brown mixologist. So guys, if you did enjoy this video, this amateurish video, but my genuine attempt to please you guys with a perfect Negroni, do drop a comment and let us know what else would you like to know in terms of cocktails. And if you do enjoy watching me and Carrie make those videos, please do like, share, and consider subscribing.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Cheers, guys.